This is one of the reasons no one respects game journalism anymore. And this is why people attack game journalists and they call them urinalists. So Joe Vargas, who is Angry Joe, said that sending the threats is small pp energy. If you send the threats, you are a piece of shit with micro dick and are announcing that fact to the world. It's never okay, you stupid idiot. I stand with Laura Bailey, who did an awesome job voicing her character Abby in The Last of Us 2. Okay, so look at this tweet here from Angry Joe. He is being fair. He says that these threats are never okay because it's not how you criticize a game. And then someone from GameSpot called Alessandro Filari. Look at his response. And it shows you the huge amount of hate that these people have for YouTubers, because these people cannot make a review just like Angry Joe does. He did a 15 minutes review and he uses a lot of things. He uses humor and it's a lot of work compared to someone who just writes 2 words on a website and calls it a review. He says this tweet from Angry Joe rings incredibly hollow considering his review of The Last of Us Part 2 is just an extended diatribe of his sexist, misogynistic views. His content more than likely contributed to people harassing Laura, so he can F off with his pathetic about face. Okay, so someone is pointing to the moon and the fool is looking at the finger of that person. Angry Joe said that it's not okay to send threats to Laura, and this person here who claims to be a journalist is attacking Angry Joe on a personal level and saying that his Last of Us Part 2 review is one of the reasons that Laura is getting attacked. Really? So if you criticize the game and if you give it a score that is not stunning and brave and 10 out of 10, you are contributing to the hate towards this game. Like, are you really a journalist? Do you really have 2 cells of brain to think for yourself? I guess not, because you're just someone who wants their review copies and attacks people like Angry Joe because they do reviews that you can never ever do in your life because you don't have the capacity to do so, you don't have the passion, and you don't have the courage to call things out when they are bad. That's what it is. You just want your review copies and early access. And look at his language, like it's really so cringy. He's calling Angry Joe words, accusing him to contribute to what people are doing to Laura. And in fact, even those things are the small minority. It's not the majority of people who play games. And these people don't understand their audience should be the gamers. It's not the game companies. Because they can root for game companies all day long. If the gamers don't buy a game, it's not going to work. And of course, all of this is not going to go just like that. A lot of people are calling out this really stupid take full of hate from this person. So one person called Michel Boussard said, "You didn't watch his review, did you?" Obviously he didn't, and he doesn't have the spine to do so. Another person called Sir Shabadoubi said, "Of course he didn't. He's seen the score and assumed shit." Fairly typical of current game journalists. Yeah, gone are the days when you see game journalists giving these really authentic reviews about games. Back in the day when games weren't really mainstream, we have some websites like GameSpot for which this person works. They had a bad history, so they were exposed and it was found out that they were shilling for Sony and giving Metal Gear games full scores, even if those games were great and didn't deserve a full score. And that's what is happening right now with The Last of Us Part 2. People from the gaming journalism giving it full scores, and people like Angry Joe telling the consumer that no, it's not a perfect game. There are a lot of issues with it, and of course because you don't follow their narrative, they're going to attack you on a personal level. Angry Joe himself said, "Lol, you haven't seen a single one of my videos, have you?" He doesn't have the spine to do so. I already said it. Our boy Mutahar said, "I can tell you did not watch the Angry Joe review, and like your career and takes on social media, you are full of shit." Yeah, thank you, Mutahar, calling this really bad behavior out. And if you just scroll down here, you will see a lot of people calling out this kind of really hateful, bad take on a tweet from Angry Joe, standing with Laura Bailey, and then this person is using it to his own agenda and calling out Angry Joe just because he gave the game a 5 out of 10 or 6. I think it was a 6. So for Angry Joe, it's like thinking logically. We have a scale of 10, so 5 is the middle, obviously, because it's logical, and 6 is a little bit above average. But for Shill Media and IGN and ex-IGN employees who say that 10 out of 10 is not 10 out of 10, for them it's just like, yeah, the 7 is mediocre or average, 5 is mediocre and 7 is average. Like, really, Shill Media game urinalists out there trying to force this idea that 5 is not middle of the road and that 7 is a little bit above average or whatever they call it, and that 10 is just the best it can be, but it's not 10. It's like saying, yeah, 1 plus 1 is 2, but 1 plus 1 doesn't really equal 2. Another person called Cactus Water said, "Sir, please look up the definition of sexism and misogyny." Yeah, thank you. He doesn't know that. He's just using those buzzwords in order to dismiss other people's opinions. And this is the problem of these people. They don't understand that having a different opinion doesn't necessarily mean hate. But for them, if you don't follow them, and if you don't say that the game is sun and brave, and if you don't pay for games like sheep and take the word of urinalists for this game or that game that it is good or not good, you are just a hater, a misogynist, and all of those buzzwords that are used out of context. It's good to see that people will just call out bad behavior. Even in a platform like Twitter, there are still people with good reason. There are still people who think, well, and whether we like the game or not, we shouldn't accuse people that their reviews cause this kind of behavior or that kind of behavior. Everyone is responsible for their behaviors, and everyone is entitled to their opinions. And yeah, we are living in this time where there is this mob mentality. You like the game, you're such and such. You don't like the game, you're such and such. It's really stupid and it should stop. But unfortunately, I cannot see it stopping anytime soon. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more. I'll talk to you again soon. Have a good one.